Just a minute. Sorry, we also needed this part to be starting. And yeah, and at the end, we will have a Q&A. So whenever David is at the end of the presentation, please do not leave us. You can just raise the hand and I'll give you the floor to ask the questions. Now there is no mute or unmute button. And whenever I give you this, that's just a technical thing, will receive the notification whenever you raise your hand. So please feel free about that. FYI, this is our first webinar, so we also need you to be very much engaged in the process, so feel free to. So very shortly about me. I'm Miro. I'm the managing director of Axel. Axel is a Georgian business angel network. We've been doing our job to flourish Georgian startup and tech ecosystem already for 3.5 years, already turning 4. In 2026, we have invested in around 30 deals, mostly in the tech startups, mostly in the Georgian founders, but the companies of those founders are all around the world. We are also proud members of European Business Angel Network, which is the umbrella network which unites organizations like Axel. And we have also done several investments through IBAN into Swedish and French companies. So I think according to what we've been doing, and we're the first business angel network here in Georgia, so we have been in a lot of struggles in the process. We have seen quite a lot, and we're more than happy to launch this kind of webinars to share our gathered experiences, which are very hands-on, things that we have experienced on ourselves in the live mode. We have also launched Angel Investor Academy, which is the new initiative of Axel. Before that, we were mostly doing the learn by doing. So we were investing right away and learning with our founders, with the co-founders of our portfolio startups, and of course, learning from our foreign friends. We say that we are not inventing the new bicycle for the whole world, but for Georgia, we definitely are. So this is why we had to experience everything on ourselves and then share this experience with you. Angel Investor Academy is a new thing, as I mentioned. We will be starting our first official batch at the end of this month in the beginning of December, and we'll be ending it till the end of the year. Our first batch participants are very lucky because that one will be very tailored, and that will have a quite big role to also help us tailor it in a way so that it continues in the right way in the upcoming years and months. And in the end, we will also have at the end of the presentation the QR codes which you can scan and see more about our Angel Academy, so that I don't bore you now with my speeches. And very shortly about me, I have the main head of mine is of course Axel and developing this angel investment ecosystem here in Georgia. But I also have had head of startup founder myself, and have been through a lot of struggles because of being a citizen and part of the country which is just now developing on the tech side. So yeah, this is very shortly. I won't be interrupting David, sorry, in the process as he presents his presentation and his webinar. I've already seen the slides, so I cannot wait to also listen to the speech that he has ready for us. And then yeah, after it, please stay, ask as many questions as possible. We have 1.5 hours dedicated to this session. I think that will need around 40-45 minutes for everything, and then we will go to the free flow and to the Q&A, and I don't know, just talking and sharing our experiences with each other. Tachi, so I won't take any of your time, and you can start right away.
Thanks a lot, Iro. That was a humble introduction. Beside, I will add some more on top of your introduction, if I may. So besides Iro being humble about herself, I think she's one of the key persons in the Georgian startup ecosystem, and she's like fierce to try to help and support everyone and each stakeholder of this ecosystem. So I want to thank you publicly about this, and thanks a lot for this opportunity. Thanks a lot, guys, for connecting. We have, I think, 27 attendees and coming more. Thanks a lot. Yeah, angeling, I think is the one of the pillars of the startup ecosystem, because usually angels are, early believers in the ideas and the teams. And the idea of this webinar came while we were discussing all the things that Axel is doing beside investing, obviously, Angel Academy, and I think one of the missions, as far as I remember, of Axel is to raise the awareness about about startup ecosystem and general investments and how it works. So we said, okay, why don't we just start to talk about it, but talk about it my way, honest way, brutally honest way. That's the way I let's say position this webinar. So I hope that you can see my screen.
Confirming.
Yes, everything is fine. Mic is working. Clicker is working. Yes. And let's start, guys. Angel Investing, the honest edition. I want to start about myself a little bit. Who is David? I am an active angel investor. I am investing into startups. In majority cases, this is the syndication. So I invest into startups together with Axel and together with our fellow angel investors. My portfolio of the startups consists 10 plus at the moment. These are startups from around the globe, but majority of it are Georgian founders. I'm also wearing the hat of the serial entrepreneur. So I have a small holding with a couple of companies in it from the variety of the fields. But these are more of the classical generic type of the businesses that we are doing. And I have the track record of creating 3 companies from scratch up to the couple of zeros, and I have track records of the exits from the successful businesses. And the last 3 years, third one counting, I'm actively involved into investments. And Axel was, for me, I think, the starting point with the investments. Angel investments are not the only kind of the investments that I do, but I think this is the funniest one that so far, if we take on the scale of the funny side of the investments, I think the funniest and the most interesting is the angel investing. And the third hat that I usually wear is the mentorships. So I mentor startup founders, SME founders. I try to give back all the practical experiences that I have. And as you see on the slide, I try to be brutally honest about it. I try to be no fluff, no myths, of course, when it's possible. And this is my style. Okay, Eero will send us a couple of like interactive small questions with my slides changing. So it's not mandatory. The only one mandatory is at the end, I think, and you can just vote. It's very simple. And let's start. Yes. So where are my wings? My favorite slide. I don't know if you guys have an experience to invest into early stage ventures or companies or maybe startups, but the term of angel is coming from the Broadway, and it was used to describe the wealthy individuals who provided financial resources for theatrical production. And the important stuff about it is that the last sentence that would otherwise have had shut down, because I think angel investing is basically more about the impact than the passive investments or let's say passive income, and we're going to cover that in the upcoming slides. And I have met with many angel investors from around the globe, and in 99.9% of the cases, the decision to invest for the angel investors is beyond just a profit or excess, how we call it, or just a return on investment, rather than non-monetary rewards, impact. And imagine if been any angels, we will not have the Broadway theater, or we would not have many things and many startups and many technologies that we are using, because as I already mentioned during my speech, the angel investors are early believers in the ideas of the other people, and I think in the teams as well, not only into ideas and the products, right? But still, why we are here, right? You joined. There is the man with bird who is talking about some stuff. But we are here because of these numbers, because of many people are interested into angel investing. Many people are worried about the risks that it has, and less than half, as we see on the slide, is looking for a guidance. But I think in reality there is much more who is looking for guidance and who doesn't know about it, including me and everyone. So it's interesting, it's fun, it's really, let's say, you are really into the point when you feel that there is a huge impact possible, not only with your money, but with your experience, with your network, and with all the things that you manage to gain during your life and career and experiences, beside the capital that you are investing into a startup. So that's why we are here, that the people are curious, and I think Axel is doing an amazing job into that place, and educating and giving the opportunity to start with the small investment, which is very important in the beginning. And my favorite slide number 2, the fantasies, the myths, because investment, I'm sure you all know that investments could be high risk, low risk, low appetite, high appetite. It depends on many factors that you are investing. And by the way, angel investing is the high risk, high return appetite type of the investment. But there are so many fantasies about angel investing, and these are usually top 3 is here, and that each deal is the unicorn. And I'll try to explain the term of unicorn, which means the market valuation of the startup that had reached more than $1 billion in valuation. And that's not true. Not every deal is a unicorn, and I think it's very important to look at the reality from the right angle. There are potential unicorns among us and among our portfolios, and I've seen with my own eyes the real angel investors with the unicorns in their portfolios, but it's very rare. Like the term of a unicorn, it's very rare to see, and it's nearly the fantasy. That's the same with the $1 billion valuation for the startups. It's very hard to do, and everyone who has done the business, not only startup, can agree on that with me. Quick and easy money. It's not passive investment, guys. Yeah, angel investment is not a passive. It's not a real estate. It's not, I don't know, bonds that gonna pay you 3 to 5% passively. This is high risk, high reward investment. But as I already mentioned, it's more about the impact that you are creating, not only into the economy, but in the world. Because you can be an angel investor of next, I don't know, next Facebook, next OpenAI, and all of them were backed by the angel investors in the beginning. And yeah, instant success stories, like, okay, someone started together with her friend or with his friend. In 3 months, they get the valuation of 500 million and sold it to I don't know, Black Rock, something. These are myths. These are fisherman stories. I call it usually. But reality check, and this is reality. This is the reality of. Yes, I needed to ask you this question. What do you think is the success rate of investments? And this is the reality that in 80% of the cases, it's a complete losses. In 15% of the cases, it's a break even or small return. But we have 5% of the cases when this 5% is paying all of the investments back and giving you, of course, the extra return. And that's why the angel investment is a high risk, high return investment type. And I think you have to be prepared emotionally about it. Then, when your investments start to fail, you need to be tough and you need to wait it without any extra emotions in order to wait for this 5%. But let's do the math. Imagine you are investing 50,000 for OpenAI just this year, and it's not that big like it is now. And imagine the return after the next investment round you can get out of this kind of investment is like many X doubling, tripling, quadrupling, and so on and so on. So many X's back to your portfolio. But okay, let's talk about the honest price of the success, because success has a price, not only to investment, but I think in our life there is a huge price for any kind of the success, and we all know about it. And I want to give a couple of small advices about this price of success. Of course, it's a financial cost, and I think that's where Axel is coming and helping out a lot because of the syndication, which is amazing investment tool. So you are syndicating your investment together with fellow investors of Axel, so you are minimizing your risks. So you can only invest what you can afford to lose, and these are slightly smaller tickets. But still, there is a time investment in it, and partly Axel is also covering that topic, because usually all the startups that come to Axel, the team and the investment team especially is doing the due diligence, and they do part of the job. But again, as I mentioned, mentoring, opening the doors, letting your startup founders to use your network to somehow support them is still the time investment. But I think this is the most important part for the startups to get from you, beside the money and beside the support that you provide. And of course, I already mentioned about the emotional toll and watching the investments to fail and doing the tough decisions, following someone, or someone is following you into the investment and it might fail. And this is also part of the price of the success. But what actually works is the clear investment thesis, and I want to talk about it a little bit more. So in Axel, we have more than 100 members, if I'm not mistaken, at the moment, and each member has a different background, right? There is members who are coming from, I don't know, Web3, crypto, energy, financials, and so on and so on. So we all have clear investment thesis in the field that you are expert in. Of course, you are the leader, right? So we have the cases when someone who is very good at a certain field says that, okay, guys, I know that this is the problem on the market. I know that this could be a game changer. And of course, the other investors who are believing his expertise or his gut feeling, how we say sometimes, are following. Or, for example, the real case when Axel had invested in one of the energy startups in their portfolio. I was the guy who was convincing everyone because I'm coming from the energy. I own the company that is operating in the energy field, and I knew exactly that the solution that they are providing to the market, and especially on the energy market, was crucial because I've seen myself the problem, and I've seen that it's huge. And result, a couple of weeks ago, actually, the founder of that startup was pitching with the Axel event. Result is I think it was 6x after our investment, just in 2 years or something like this. So I'm not bragging here. We have way better, let's say, investment cases when I follow the other amazing people and we got amazing results. But investment thesis is not based only on, I don't know, I understand IT, or I understand, I don't know, something, utilities business, and I'm going to invest only that. But to have the clear understanding what is your interest or what you want to follow or what you think is big and going to be very big, and you need to chase for this unicorn in order to win. Strong networks. Yeah, as I already mentioned, again, I can tell you a personal story from one of the amazing startup that is in our portfolio together with Axel. And I remember that every time we meet on one of the tech events, I try to introduce to the different people. We have introduced the founder of that startup to very famous angel investors from US, from Europe. We have introduced him to one of the biggest VC funds in our region that is currently investing. We have introduced him to the International Accelerator in Texas, which is covering all the expenses that I have for 6 months and investing as well. So it's about the network, and you have to support your startups with the networks, and not only you, but also with the strong networks, you have someone to ask. Usually, you have some more experience. For example, Axel is a part of European Business Angel Networks, so we, as a members of Axel, are part of it as well. And there are the people from IBAN that are investing for 40 years, and I'm not 40 yet, so they have experience of investing so long, and they have amazing companies in their portfolio. And usually, you can ask them really interesting questions and get feedback. And yes, Iro doesn't like this, but I think it's very important to master and say no, because at the end, as we already mentioned on the past slides, majority of the investments would fail, and you know that. So you are trying your best to somehow like get to the point when you really catch those like top guys and top products and ideas. And in order to get this, of course, you have to know how to say no, because if you're gonna agree on all of the deals that are coming to you, most probably you will end up of wasting your money on not only the potential unicorns, but also the time and money wasters that could come up. The big picture, yes. So, as I mentioned already, let's zoom out a little bit about the investments in general. There are many means of the investments, and I think that startup investments is should have one of the, let's say, diversified places into your investment portfolio. You need to diversify investments according to the risk appetite, of course. But I think it's important to understand that diversified investment strategy is very important. And for this strategy and to understanding more, I think it's very good to attend Angel School by Axel. It's very good to become the part of Axel, because you will understand more and more practically about how other people are diversifying their investments. Regional ecosystem growth. Georgian market, and not only Georgian, but also the regional market that we are in is limited. So in majority of the cases, when we are listening to the pitches of the startups and when we are considering investments, we are looking at the scalability. And if the startup is not non-scalable or hardly scalable, then usually the answer to investment is no. So regional ecosystem growth is very, very important for everyone. And by region, I'm talking about Armenia, Azerbaijan, I'm talking about Turkey, I'm talking about Central Asia, and so on and so on. And we are developing that together. And the presence into the regional ecosystem of Axel and us and Euro is really big. And I think that's very, very important in order to understand the big picture of the investments. And of course, my favorite is giving back to community, because as I believe in, if we as a species want to develop something in the future, I think we need to give back to community, give back to each other, to share the knowledge, to talk to each other, because at the end, the talking and the gossiping actually developed the humankind. Yeah. Case study I have with me, and this is a real case study, edtech startup that Axel invested, and I'm investing, of course, into it as well. And they had a pitch about the edtech solution for teachers. And I still remember the pitch when first time listened to them. These are Georgian founders with a very strong team, previous exits, already built a company and managed to sell it with the 400K euro revenue, which was growing 25% monthly. And the pitch and the team and the product and the market, clear path to the 250 million plus market. I remember that, like, when we were listening to the pitch, it was like, okay, what, I mean, yes, we need to do it. And usually these kind of decisions to invest in majority of the cases are happening on the side, because you see that this is it, and the particular case study I've chosen because I think when I was telling about how we introduced him, was meaning about this startup to different places. You are becoming the believer, that these guys can, rob the bank. They're gonna be who will really get the valuation of a couple of $100 million, because you see that. You see when I think this startup will have triple their revenue this year. And you feel that, because the guy that is a founder, he still comes on taxi. He's not like driving, I don't know, some Porsches or he is so much focused on to grow and to deliver that he is just doing that like I don't know, a drilling machine. He's just drilling on the same spot in order to understand, and he's listening. And I forgot to mention that we're not talking about the red flags and about startups, but I think to be coachable and to accept the people's opinions about, and especially to those people who have a lot of experience in the business, is I think like one of the green flags in the startup founders, because usually these guys who listen, usually they really understand the importance of the feedback and importance of how you can support and how you can help in order to succeed. And a very important point as well that I wanted to mention is that the idea itself, if we are talking about this particular one, idea itself is nothing out of, you know, the sci-fi movies that we have seen, but the team who is about the execution and market timing and how they are doing. And for example, I remember that when he got investment from us, his business model was different. So he was entering the countries and he was trying to develop their network inside of the country. And then this year he said, no, we changed that because we realized that if we found the local associations of the teachers, and if we try to get them on the board, we can scale like much faster than that. And you know, when you see it and when you listen and when you see the new pitches, and startups are pivoting a lot, you know, startups are usually changing the business model or changing the product. Or, for example, one of our agri-tech startup just pitched in Baku, and I was there and I was listening to his pitch, and when he finished, I came to him and I said, man, I mean, I've invested into different startup and now you're pitching completely different story. But I love it because you saw which way you should go. You saw the opportunity and now you have more clients on board and the bigger tickets to sell. So I think that's the whole love of it. So next steps for you, of course, from my point of view, is to define your investment thesis. To think what exactly will motivate you to invest into, I don't know, a bunch of the engineers that are believing in that they are building next Airbnb, or believers who think that, for example, in Axel's portfolio, we have one of the startups that is from Europe that is building the greenhouses that will be used on the Mars, planet Mars. So, I mean, how big is your imagination, or how big you can think of it? When together with us, and our friend is joking about it, together with Axel, the richest man of Europe, his family office, Arno's family office also invested. Yeah. So how big can you think, yeah, about this? But very important to understand, we need to start small and we need to learn. And for this, we have Axel, we have Angel Academy, to start small and learn. And Axel has a minimum investment ticket of $1,500 per deal. I think it's a very small ticket. If we look at the minimum investment tickets in the different countries and bigger economies, this is way more than that. Join the community. And Axel gave me a lot in terms of community, in terms of contacts, in terms of amazing people, and be honest about your price. Yeah, of course, be honest about what price you can pay for this kind of commitment that investment is giving. And by the end, of course, I want to invite you all to join Angel Academy with Axel. I'll be speaking there on a couple of events, and join Axel Network. I think it's unique. It's one and only Georgia Business Angel Network. Yeah, I'll be there on any event of Axel. I'm there. I'm trying my best to support, and feel free to reach out to me if you want to understand something in secret, don't want to ask Hero, I'm here. So thanks a lot, guys. Thank you. That was my presentation. I think
We
I
don't
did
have the
good.
emotions here.
Yeah, we have emotions. No.
And we don't. So that's
Oh.
why I clapped in the live. So well done, David.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
We
Thank you.
we're more than happy to receive any kind of comments or questions. I'll just quickly can try to comment on some things that David has mentioned. One is mastering is saying no, which he has also said that that's the thing that I might not like. So yeah, in reality, and also how it does it with us, how it happens is that, yeah, we of course should master how to say no. I mean, how to understand better who are the startups that should not be in our portfolio. But when you're doing a very early stage investments and when you try to support the early stage founders, you try to search for the reasons why to invest, why not to, because whenever you're doing the very early stage investments, there are trillions of reasons why to say no. I mean, the right away answer for every normal person would be like, goodbye, no, I'm not investing here. But this is what also how the angel investing business itself kind of works. That you invest early, you take the big risk on yourself, and then you see like good money coming back to you whenever you do the exit. And to kind of bring some numbers there, with a very easy calculations that usually do not happen. But let's just imagine the process is that imagine a startup comes with kind of valuation of 1 million USD early stage on the first stage of tech development, but with a very good team behind it. And they are asking for 100,000 from you, maybe in USDs. And so you get kind of the 10% shares in the company. It doesn't always work with the equity right away, and it sometimes works with the future equity, different kind of documents, but still. And when you take that, and when you put that 100,000 there, you are looking at how the valuation will increase from time to time. And if a startup has the valuation of 20 million after, I don't know, 2, 3, 5 years, then you will be receiving that 20K. But you should exit there, and you should do this. Why that it's why the angel investing is called an exit business. That usually we try to exit at some point. So we sometimes are not following the startups till the end, because there are a lot of risks. Even when the startups raises, I don't know, like hundreds of millions, still it can fail anytime, because it's a startup, because it's a tech, it's something that works globally and should be scalable, and there is quite a big competition now on the tech market. So they still might fail, but what Daci mentioned, you remember this 5% and the question that I also had with Paul.
Yes.
This 5% is when you kind of try to have this right exit moment in the process. And whenever the big investor comes in, like equity investor after us, they usually do not like us there, because we're minority shareholders, and they are like they are very into cleaning the cap table and to have a normal cap table of as fewer shareholders as possible. And that's the moment when we say like, okay, guys, just give us the money back. I don't know, like 10x or 12x or 5x, like multiplier, and we'll be just getting out of the company. And that's how like this process ends. I wanted to say usually, but usually it doesn't end like this. But if you're lucky, it's gonna end. But you have to learn a lot in the process. That's what we've been doing, and we're very honest at Axel about it. That we have experienced a lot of things on ourselves, on our skin, and what David has mentioned in the process, that we have 30 portfolios, some very good cases. We of course have some failures that we said that okay, this startup failed, then we're not looking at them anymore. But we're hoping that the founder already has a very good experience and will be able to start up the new company that we will be investing right away. And some of our members also say from time to time that being an angel investor is that if you exit and if the startup succeeds, then we drink our champagne, and if they fail, we drink more because they failed. So that's a very easy philosophy that a lot
But
of
this is
you
not
won't
an
be surprised the
advertisement of
Georgian investor
alcohol.
has. Yeah, this is not different. This is just a Georgian way, but not only Georgian way. I would say a lot of angel investors are also like that. And we have 3 quick questions in the chat.
Okay.
That maybe we
Should
can
I?
already turn off the we can turn
Yes, I
off
think
the screen sharing.
it's
Do you
better.
also see
So
the questions there?
yes, yes, that's that's why I switched it off. So let's go. I don't know what's the. Okay, I will start with David's. I'm a founder and have a working prototype. I'm struggling with getting clients. I don't have any co-founders yet. And my question is whether it's worth considering to find investors, not for capital, but to connect me to potential clients. Okay, I think I'm going to answer, Iro, right? David, thanks a lot for your question. And brutally honest answer is no. You don't you don't need to go to the investors to find the clients. I think what you have to do, you have to find the co-founder. I know it's very hard. I've been there many times. It's very hard, but you need to find the co-founders, and especially while there is a team, we usually look at the balance between the founders. For example, if you mentioned working prototype, most probably you are the tech guy. If you're a tech guy, look for someone who has the sales skill or maybe marketing background or something who believes in the idea that you have, like you are believing. So this is very important to balance the team. I had a couple of times while I was mentoring a couple of startups with the team that is really stuck with the same skill set. And then it's very hard because no one knows how to sell, right? So get yourself the co-founder, then pitch to Axel. If we like your idea, if it's worth it, come to the founders, come to the investors, and then we're gonna help you open the doors, but we cannot help you to get the clients, unfortunately.
Yeah, a quick additional thing on Daci's, David's. Okay, I'm gonna call you any of the names. Okay, I'm gonna call you Daci. Not to be
Okay,
correcting it every
no
time.
problem.
So yeah, how it works usually with the investors, but it happens, David, after you fundraise. So after fundraising and whenever you already have your angel investors on the cap table that have invested in you, they of course have interest to help you in the whole process.
Yes.
And they are helping you a lot. What they do usually is that, we have had a lot of cases where we brought the clients right to the door of our portfolio startup, but that happens mostly after investment because then we also have the interest. But also it happened several times that we were helping startups before investing, because sometimes it happens that Axel gives the floor to the early stage startups, but but we try to like get very deep into the product and mostly in the team to understand better who they are. And then if the team is very good, we might give them the floor once every 3 months to just keep in touch with the angel investors in life. So whenever they meet, there happens that one or two people from our network are very interested into the startup and say that, okay, we're not investing right now, but we will be kind of mentoring you or advising you in the process so that we see how the company is developing. And they might be helping you a lot into getting the clients. So yeah, the short answer is that no. So you are not going to investors to get the clients, but yeah, you're getting the investors because you need money first, because if you do not need money, you don't need to dilute yourself that much. I mean, to give out the shares and the equity to the investors. But when you fundraise, ask investors to get you clients. I mean, use everything that they have, use their network, use any person around them in a good way, of course, not using in a bad way, but yeah, try to
Yes,
use everything that they have as much as possible. But you have to
that's
fundraise
a good
first
advice.
and then, yep.
That's a good advice. Definitely use the network as much as possible. And John,
Oh,
hey John, how are you? How many angel investment opportunities do you look at each month? Do you have an online presentations or are the angel pitches done to committee? I think Iro can answer that.
yeah. And also there is another question about what are the domains of our angel community, and I'll
Yes,
quickly also add on that. So John,
yes.
thanks for being here, and I'll quickly answer your question. So we in total, I would say I've listened to more than 1,200 pitches. This is something that we have calculated so far, but there are a lot that we have missed. So we have on our website, each and every startup can apply to pitch. We receive their pitch and the application form on the application, which is called Dloom. This is a Dflow platform. We receive a lot of applications. For example, I don't know, like in the last period, we've received more than 90 applications. We have an investment board, which are either the management team members or the active investors. And from time to time, we also bring into the investment board some of our members who have the field expertise, for example, Web3 or crypto, and we always need some helping hands there because I don't know, for example, crypto that well. So then these people gather, take a look at the applications that are incoming, then we kind of work on the whole list, and we leave, I don't know, like up to 10 startups that we're meeting every month. We meet with them online. I mean, the board, investment board, 3 to 5 people meets with them. For example, George, our mutual friend, Simon Golashvili, he's also one of the board members, investment board members. We meet with the startups. We spend at least 2 hours with each and every startup. We talk to them. We understand who the founders are. We ask a lot of bad and good questions to them to understand the product, financials, the background. And then we decide whom to let to pitch in front of our members. And once every month, we have our monthly investor gathering where we're bringing 1 or 2 startups that are pitching in front of our community. This usually happens offline, so we meet in the space where I'm now from. And yeah, they meet with each other, they meet with investors. But of course, everything at the same time happens online, that all these applications are then available to our investors also via Dilum, because our investors also have profiles there. And we also have the online pitching session, because even not Georgians are coming all the time to the events. And if we have 100 members on the event, we might have 30, 35 members gathering, and not everyone can attend. And then we do the online meeting, which is totally in English, so that everyone can understand. Yeah, so the pitches are also done by the committee and then with the members in the offline and online modes. And quickly to answer, Dashi, sorry for the other question, is that what are the domains that our angel community is looking at? So we're industry agnostic. We invest everywhere, wherever we want to, because how angel syndicates work is that we have 100 members. Each and every of them has their own expertise. Some people in crypto, some people in energy, some people, I don't know, in education and so on. And whenever startups from them, their expertise is coming to us, then they are leading the round to call it so, like vouching for the startups, and then other investors are following them into the syndicate. For a quick example, if a good fintech startup is coming to us, and if one of our members who is the um, vice president or something like that at the one of the biggest banks here in Georgia, if she says that I'm following this deal because I know how the banking works and I know that it's a needed product for the banks in the CIS region, for example, then others are not going into really depth of the setup. They're saying like, okay, David, if you're trusting it, then we're following you, because it's how the syndicates and the angel communities work. We're totally industry agnostic, and plus I would say we don't have the luxury to be industry agnostic, at least here in Georgia and in Caucasus region. There are some times when the fintech is booming, when the ed tech is booming, HR tech is booming. So it really depends on the what period it is. Of course, as whole world, we are looking at the AI too. We're looking at the Web3 too. We're trying to get close to the kind of crypto and blockchain things. So yeah, we're trying to evolve the angel network and our verticals as much as possible.
Yeah, and in general, I think tech, if we want to generalize, it's a tech that Axel is investing actively. I'm
Yeah.
sure you mentioned that. Oh, Eka, my love, how are you? When I'm beginner in investing and I'm not founder and just want to make my deposit works, what am I doing first? Yeah, as I already mentioned, startup ecosystem is the high risk, high return. So it depends what's your risk appetite, and I think it depends how. So what motivates you to invest? This is first, and how much money you are ready to lose, and how good is your emotion control. But in general, there are many points for investments, and stocks, bonds, real estate, you know it better, and I would say startups is not only because of the high risk, high return, but also to be near to the tech, to be near to the technology, to understand the younger generation, what they are building, why they are thinking about this, and so on and so on. So I think you need to answer these questions first into yourself, and then continue with that. I hope that I covered that. If not, we can talk more. Tamar, how do you see the role of angel investors evolving in the next 5 years, especially with AI and global capital becoming more accessible? Thanks a lot, Tamar, for the question. Iro, should I answer maybe? Or
Yeah, you start, and if something, I'll add.
yeah, so I think investment will be there no matter AI is there or not, because someone needs to invest the capital. But AI is big. AI is very big. We have a couple of startups in our portfolio, and It's developing super fast. I think it's crucial. Angel investment is not about the amount of the capital. It's more about the early believers. Because okay, let's talk. I think it's a good idea to talk a little bit about the investment rounds and the life path of the startup. That is, let's say, industry standard. So when you have idea and if you have a co-founder and if you want to get some money in order to build something, or you have the skills to build something, the first stop, let's say, is usually the family and friends, because no one believes more than them into you. At least this should be the case, right? And right after them are coming the angel investors. So basically, right after the friends and family, there are the people like me and much better people than me who believe in you and your startup. And these guys are like early adopters, if we want to say the marketing term, for the product, right? If we take the startup as a product. So early adopters are the people who need to be there in order to develop anything. AI, any field of the economy, anything on the earth is started by early adopters. So basically, angel investors will be there. We're going to invest a lot into AI and we're going to fail and we're going to win. And I think the role of the angel investors are huge in especially to developing OpenAI or other amazing AI startups that we have in the world right now.
I'll quickly add on that. So what AI is really helping us in is the process that the evaluation process of the startups is not that easy, as you can imagine, and like choosing between the 100 startups. So AI is more of a helping us, and there are a lot of AI tools already for investors and networks and VCs. And like people like us who want to evaluate startups better and kind of give the AI the input of about the startups information and then get it back to you how to or if you should invest there or not at all, depending on your investment thesis. But very shortly, so AI is helping us, that short answer. But the global
Yeah.
capital becoming more accessible, that would be a very good thing. So we have a quite challenging, what's quite challenging in our region is that the global capital is not accessible for the startups in Central Asia, Caucasus, and in our region, to say so. So we are helping them in that too. So after we invest in them, then we give them the opportunity to pitch in front of the big VCs, our international friends, our global and international investors, VC funds, angel networks, and so on. But the early stage investments is a very tricky one. It's said that angels try not to invest in startups with whom they cannot meet face to face after 4 hours of drive. So there are a lot of investors that say that if I sit in my car, go and drive, and it only takes 4 hours for me to get and see the founding team of my startup we're invested in, then it's fine to me. But if they are somewhere far away from me where I cannot keep in touch with them, then I don't need to invest there. So angel money does not travel. There is a saying like that, which hopefully will be changed because we need the money to travel, because we need other investors to be investing in our region, right? Some angel investors are doing worldwide investments. Some of them do like region-wide investments. They say that, for example, we invest in MENA region and that's it. And some of them invest globally. So we really want that capital to be more accessible for our startups. I would not say there is any kind of threat to us in this region, at least for the upcoming 10 years. To have the competition, and may we have a competition if there is a competition about who invests in Georgian startups. So I would be more than happy to have that challenge in my life.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go quickly about Lucas' question. How much is too much that founder might request? There is no too much, Luca, when they are in the early MVP stage, but the idea is pretty great. There is no founder who thinks their idea is pretty bad. So all the ideas are good, but they don't give us clear revenue path for 1.5 year. But then they say, trust us. Team is pretty small, but experienced. Real case scenario. I don't know if I understood it right, but if you are asking if angels are investing pre-revenue, yes, we are investing in pre-revenue. If you are asking what's the valuation of your startup or your friend's startup, I cannot answer that. because it depends. If you are asking me how much you should value your company to the investors, and if they gonna negotiate the valuation, yes, they gonna negotiate the valuation. They want as low as possible valuation from your startup, and you want to sell it for as high as possible. But yeah, if I don't understand it right, please tell me, and I'll try to answer your question.
I'll quickly also add on that I'm not sure if that was the answer, but question. But usually, whenever the startup comes to the Series A stage, which is around third investment round or fourth investment round, like there is this friends, family, and fools. I like the last part
Yeah.
in the best way. Yeah, all of the people are fools, right? Who are investing on the very early stage. Maybe us too, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So friends, family, and fools. There comes in the Presid, which is sometimes mixed with this friends, family, fools, angels, and so on. And then the next official stage is like Presid seed, might be a breach in between when we need a bit more money to go to the Series A, and then it's the Series A. And on the Series A, big investors do not really like the startups that have given out more than 30-40% of their shares to the investors, because all the investors, whenever they are investing in the tech startups, are believing in the team. And if we understand that you as a founding team, for example, you are 4 people, and you have already given out 60% of the company to the investors, and you are only 10% shareholders, then who's taking the risk? You're going to have your board. Some people are going to block all the risks that you should be taking and tell you that, no, you're not going to risk now. You're not going to expand in 10 countries. So let the company rest and let us get our dividends and so on. So this is something that investors do not like. And getting back to your question about what is too much. Too much is something that dilutes you too much. That the moment when you feel that you don't have enough equity and shares in your own company, that you want to work on it 24/7. And this is usually, if we tell you numbers, 30 or 40% on the Series A. And remember that before the Series A, you're doing this friends, family, fools, angel. You're doing Presid, seed, and breach. So usually on the Presid, startups do not try to sell more than 10% of their equity maximum. Then kind of the same on the next stage, and then it will depend how the company is evolving and what the valuation is. If that
Yeah.
also helps, that's an additional answer to that.
Yes, I think we covered, and Luca has another question as well. So I think we covered Haj and Rezo. Hi, Rezo are asking us how they can join the community, and we had the QR code. If you missed it, it's very easy. You just go axelnetwork.org and you just fill up the application about investors. So how to become the investor of Axel, and the amazing team of Hero will reach you out in a minutes or seconds. Hero, I don't know.
No, come on. We take our time.
Yeah, as fast as possible, and then you'll be there definitely quickly. So go for it. And again, Lucas' question: what is the key things to look for when dealing with pre-seed, C, and MVP phases of startups? What are the key points which make them outstand? It's a good question, Luca. Thanks a lot. Like before. For the investors, it's important to see dedication, product scalability, team, and so on and so on. But I would take a couple of green flags. Revenue. If someone believed into your product, if they paid the actual money into your product, that's a green flag definitely in these early stages. And as I already bring the real case study from our portfolio at Tech Startup, they already had a really good revenue, even though it was the early stage. I think if the team already had some kind of experience of doing the startup, even failing, maybe they failed, maybe they exited, maybe they succeeded. It doesn't matter. It's a very, very green flag, I would say. And investments. if someone already invested into you, even small money, like, I don't know, 5,000 US dollars or any amount of money, and of course it should be true. And it should be not subjective, like mom gave me the money. Then I think these are the green flags to look for. But I think, we had one more question and it disappeared from my screen. Did you check by David? No?
If there is any question that was checked, then I have answered it in the chat. So it's
Okay,
no.
very good. I
Right.
think
No,
David had.
David's
Oh,
question is also here. Yeah.
yes. I don't see it. That's a problem.
So the
Okay, I
question
see it
is,
now. Yeah, I see it now. Could you explain how you calculate valuations for revenue startups? David, thanks a lot.
answer it seriously.
Yeah, we don't calculate that. We don't know how they calculate that. If you know, tell us. That's the most honest
Don't believe
answer
him
on
in everything.
your question, because usually no one knows. That there are, of course, this is the joke. There are, I think, four methods how usually the financial valuation of the company is happening, but especially in case of the startups, when there is not much of the track record or any assets or anything, it's usually is based on the future cash flow, future, I don't know. I can do this big, I can do this. This is based on that, never based
Yeah.
on something that is tangible. But that's why the angel investing is the believing into something when majority of the people doesn't believe in it. That's the whole point of engineering. So I think that's. But with valuation, it's a good negotiation point, because usually when you are investing, you want to get more share from the investor's point of view, of course, and the founders doesn't want to sell that amount of shares. So yeah, that's the negotiation point usually.
But we're the good guys there. We never ask for
Yes, yes, we don't
51%
negotiate
or
a lot.
40%.
No.
Yeah.
Usually it's, I think, 1% or maybe less than that if it's a good
Mhm.
startup and with good
Um,
valuation.
we are usually very early stage investors. Either we're the first ones that are investing in the startups or the second ones. So we're also validating the entry point of the valuation in the startups.
Before fools, right? And before
Yeah.
before moms.
Maybe. Well, sometimes there are some families that are being fooled, but it's us.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I would add is that, well, of course, we're taking that valuation seriously, but we're having fun here. But yeah, usually when the startups fill in the application, they do not have their valuations calculated yet, but some of them have. And whoever has it, there's I would say three main things that the investors are, at least on our stage, and angel investors are looking at. So it's called the fair valuation first. So we understand that we don't need the 30% of the company. Plus, we don't want to take that big responsibility on this company itself, of course. So that's first thing. What is the fair valuation? The first thing is who is the team behind it and what the people expertise and the field expertise is. So would the valuation be same? So let's imagine two same products, two same markets. I know three co-founders that have been in the same industry for 3 years that have already exited startup in the same industry. And on the other hand, some team that has just now entered the industry have never been in the startup world before. So of course, the valuation of those will be totally
Different.
different. So the second one might be like, I don't know, $500,000 USD only. And the first one that I mentioned might be 10 million just because of the team. And we've had that kind of cases when a very strong team of the people who have exited their company very successfully for the several tens of millions USD on US market, and then started building a new startup in the same industry, and their valuation was already 15 million when they started the first round. And it was fine, and we joined them, and now we're kind of tripled. Our investment has tripled after, I don't know, a year or year and a half. So there is no short answer, and there is no direct answer to that. This is why angel investing is very, I would say, individual thing towards every startup, whoever is coming to us. But of course, we do challenge them. Of course, we try to get as good term sheet for our member investors so that we invest on the better terms with the startups. And yeah, there are of course some kind of calculation processes that the startups are taking, and with that calculations, some of the startups have come up to us and said that my valuation is 12 million. And we asked like, okay, if 12, why not 100? Maybe answer us on that. And then they were
No, my
opening up the,
favorite is like me and my friend decided to start something and we value it at 10 million. This is my
yeah, that's it.
favorite.
But some of them have it counted. So some of them are using these
Course.
frameworks and really show us the Excel files with the projections and with the projections that are where the company will be in 5 years, how the market will grow, what's the market opportunity for them, what is the market that they are willing to capture. So this is very abstract, and we
Yeah.
already know that we're in an abstract business, very good abstract business, but we know that. So we try to ground as much as possible with our potential portfolio startups, negotiate and talk about the valuations, and after that decide if this is the fair valuation for us and for the startup founding team.
Yeah, definitely. Nini, hi Nini, hi guys. What are the major risks of starting to invest without any investment background, and how can these risks be managed? Thanks a lot, Nini, for your question. I think Axel is a very good point for that. Axel is a very good point to start because I think that Axel is giving exactly what you are asking for in terms of experienced investors side by side with you are going to invest or not invest. You will meet amazing people who are very much curious about startups and investments, and the risk management in startups is very hard. I'll be very honest with you. But what Axel as a value is to me personally is exactly that. That partly they help you to manage the risk. How? They do the due diligence, they sit down with the startups. I think, it might be a good idea to talk a little bit how how this all works. So like the process of the Axel. So a startup is applying for pitching. It comes to the deal, which is the application. Then it comes to you as an investment committee. Then you do the due diligence. They fill up all the documents, and then if they succeed to go through your the investment committee's due diligence process, then they come to pitching to the investors. Right? That's the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already answered it. That's it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the decision of the investment goes to each of the investors. So you personally decide if you want to invest. There is a minimum ticket, but there is no maximum ticket. If you want to invest 2 million, you
Yeah.
can invest 2 million, no problem.
And plus, you are looking at others. I'll quickly add that. So, for
Yes.
example, you as a newly joined member. So we don't want to talk only about Axel here, but every syndicate and every angel network works like that. So once again, we're
Yes.
not inventing any bicycle. This is how it's been working for 40 years in US and EU. So, for example, when you're a new member in networks like us, you see people like that have been investing there. You see people that have already invested into 30 deals. And you try to kind of follow them in the process. So you also do this learn by doing. You can also go through different kind of classes and seminars, not only our academy, but I don't know, search for something on Udemy or talk with the ChatGPT, or with any other AI, and learn from them how to do the right investment decisions, but make the right investment decisions. But you at the same time look at the fellow investors that are the members of the angel network itself, and you follow them. This is something also that helps you to mitigate the risk. There is a fintech startup, a banking guy is investing it. There is a med tech startup, a guy who owns a hospital in Georgia invests in it. There is, I don't know, like an energy related startup, David invests in there, and he's been in the business for 15 years, so he knows where he invests. Well, nobody knows at the end of the day, but at least he knows the industry and knows that it's going to work. So that's first thing. And another thing is that the main thing that you will be risking in the angel investing is the money, and the syndicates are helping you in that to diversify. So if you have, I don't know, 30,000 USD that you want to invest into the startups, or 10 or 300 or 3 million, it doesn't matter. You want to give the chance to each and every cent and dollar of it, right? So with the syndicates, you get the chance to invest with the lower tickets and learn that way. Maybe you find comfort in that and you say that all my life I'm going to be investing only through the syndicates. Or one day you're going to meet with the founding amazing team that you're going to say that, okay, whatever money I have, I'm going to put in them now because I've already diversified my portfolio. I've already put different kind of small checks into different startups, and well, I'm going to give the big check now to some other startups. So it's a learning process, and the biggest miscritication is to learn properly how to do this business. And I would say that angel investing is really about having an experience in it, and after that you will say that you know how to manage the whole process. Because yeah, this is very hands-on experience. I wouldn't say that this is something that you can easily learn only from academy or only from Udemy or any kind of online or offline platform.
So shortly, Nini, join us. Come. Thank
I
you.
try to be more general, but yeah.
Tamar, my big interest is impact investing and sustainable finance. My question is, do you see a growing trend in Caucasus and in the neighbor regions where asset managers, angel investors, and founders collaborate to support startups with real social and environment impact? Thanks a lot, Tamar. Again, yes, I'm part of UN Global Compact. I'm mentoring UN Women. I'm big believer of sustainable finances and sustainable economy. Yes, I think it will grow in our region, especially because the usual trend is that something is happening in the different regions of the world, and then it happens to our region. So yes, I think there will be growing interest into that, but I also want to say that it depends on many things. Usually, when based on my experience, when the social enterprises or some kind of startups that are very much focused on sustainable things and environmental issues come, they forget that at the end it should be profitable, because angel investors, and especially angel investing, is about scalability. So basically, angel investors are not charity. You know, it's not the fund that gonna invest into, I don't know, something just because of this. But yeah, it's a growing, it's coming, and I think there will be more interest into that in our region.
And maybe I add quickly on that. We haven't done a lot of impact investments, but there is a very good new trend in Georgia, and I totally love that, which is an civic impact or democracy tech or civic tech or something called like that. So there is no industry right away all around the world, and people are trying to give different kind of names to it. Some call it peace tech, some call it democracy tech, some call it civic tech. So this is also something really close to, well, it's impact investing, but something that the world hasn't seen yet. And I think we do all understand why the world needs it, right? So we have done four that kind of investment this year already. So this is something that we are very proud of. But these investments are investments in the companies that are real startups. I mean, not only doing something better for the society, but we are also looking for our multipliers to see there. So they have proper business models. We are not doing just our charity, because if anyone wants to do charity, which they're more than welcome, but not through Axel, because we have an investment status of ours. But yeah, this is that the proper businesses with the proper business model that has to raise the money, that has to work with the investors and with the clients. So this is also something that, Tamar, you might not know, because that's quite new thing, even for me, because we've done that by ourselves, and we have developed that by ourselves. So yeah, you can also take a look at some of the Georgian democracy and civic tech startups too. Even in our portfolio, we'll be soon announcing some of them.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Tamar. Timur, how are you? Timur. Oh, and he's asking us about the exiting from startups. Timur, oh, that's a pain point. Why are you pushing the buttons? Yeah, Axel has no experience of exiting the startups. Axel is five years old? Not yet five.
3.5.
3.5, oh, 4. So we are still waiting. On average, startup, okay, let's say Series A round is on average 5 to 7 years away from the beginning. So we are still waiting for our startups, for our exit from the startups, and I think industry experience is straightforward. You are on the cap table, you go to the larger round, which is usually Series A or B, and usually you are exiting. So when you entered
Yeah.
on the cap table, when the valuation of the startup was 1 million, and then the VC fund is giving them, I don't know, 50 million on 200 million valuation, that's your 200x. And that usually takes the time, and it's usually 5 to 7 years. But the steps also very straightforward. We got the rounds, we got the pre-seed, seed, Series A, B, C, D, and so on rounds, and each type, each let's say round has its own kind of the investors. For example, as we already mentioned, first round is usually friends and family, then the angel investors, then the VC funds, then the bigger funds. I don't know. Then, then I don't know. Some in the beginning also some family offices of the huge guys. So it depends. But yeah, you are investing as an angel investor, and then you are waiting for the bigger valuation rounds, investment rounds to exit. And as for limitations, usually the dilution is the limitation that the shares are diluted proportionally,
After
usually
every round, yeah.
after every round. So basically, if you invested into the seed round and they went to the Series A and then you are exiting on Series B, it means that your shares are diluted because they sold proportionally the shares of the company.
Yeah, but everybody's shares diluted. I mean, to all the investors that have been there. And also, well, one more thing about the dilution is that that's why we're taking a look at the multiplier more than a share that we're getting there. Because, for example, if I've invested 10,000 USD and I'm going to exit on 3K, I'm going to get back not like 30,000 USD, but 29-ish, something like that, K USD. So yeah, this is the thing how it works. That's the, I would say, only limitation. And another limitation, if the startup fails, of course, and the startup can fail anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like this kind of limitations.
Yeah, no, we don't like that. We don't take a look at
We
that.
don't want it. Yeah.
Yeah, timing and steps that you mentioned, 5 to 7 years, and also one good case might be that when the startup is going quite well, some big either competitors or the some other kind of companies are seeing them and just buying them out, and we're also doing the M&A like mergers, acquisitions, and then all the investors are of course going to be exited. And also another case is the founding team buying us out at some point. Whenever they understand that they're diluting themselves, they are usually trying to get the early stage investors outside of the cap table and get their own shares back. So the team is buying out the shares from the other investors. So there are mostly like 3, 4 scenarios that happens in the angel investment world, not more.
Yes, thank you, Iro. Oh, another Timur. Tell us a little bit more about the academy, please. Yes, we're gonna tell
Okay.
you. Iro, you start, I think, here.
Yeah, very shortly, but I'm also gonna send the link maybe in the chat afterwards about the academy, or that you have shared it already on the QR. But you can visit our LinkedIn or website anyways and see more info there. So Angel Investor Academy is the first ever academy here in Central Asia and Caucasus that we have launched. We've worked on it for 6 months, if you can believe that. We've worked with a Finnish Business Angel Network, Danish Business Angel Network, one Business Angel Network from MENA region, and one from the US. We have learned their programs by heart, understood it better, and then tried to build our own, which is close to our region's kind of processes that were quite early yet, on the early stage yet. So it's a 2 months. We will have different kind of trainings, but the first one and the first batch that we're gonna definitely fall in love with is the 2 months long program, where participants will be meeting, which is offline. We'll be meeting with each other twice every week. We'll be meeting at least with 2 trainers or lecturers on every meeting that they come to. The trainers are those who have experienced everything, that have been through angel investing, that have been through the founding process. I mean, being the co-founder, we have Georgian speakers, we have international speakers, we have speakers from our region, we have speakers from EU, mostly because we're members of IBAN, and we're bringing the board of directors members from IBAN that will be doing their different kind of keynotes. What is very different about our Angel Investor Academy is that we see that the community is main thing that stands behind the angel investing, because it's still the startup community behind it. So how we did it is that we're going to have the official kind of workshops course, every time when we meet for 2-3 hours. Afterwards, we'll have 1 hour of the fireside chats. And the fireside chat means that we have a lot of members and a lot of friends that do not like doing the presentations just like that they are not kind of lecturers, but well, let them sit and talk. There are people like that, but they need to get into the conversation with you. So we have a lot of that kind of people, and we will be showcasing them with you, like them sitting mostly in this space where you see me now and talking with you and sharing their real life experiences and live experiences with the participants. Mm, mostly it will be offline. People should be attending because it's about community. People should be meeting with each other, but that's the first batch, and we need the first batch to be offline to get as many feedback as possible in the process. But after that, we're gonna launch the totally English version online, which will be 2 week long only, but will be very fast and more like extensive workshop about angel investing. Of course, we won't be able to have that many speakers because we will have to fit in everything in 2 weeks. In this case, it's like 2 months, and we can get everyone around us. So yeah, that's it. We'll be shortly announcing another one. So we'll be starting the one now, and the registration for the next one will start, I think, in November, December. I mean, this year. We think that in the beginning of the next year, we'll only leave these 3 different processes. One offline in Georgia, in Georgian language and mixed in English, because we will have foreign speakers too. Another one totally in English, totally online, done in 2 weeks. And another one done in Georgia, totally in English, but that will be very, very extreme course done in total 5 days, but you'll be learning from 9 to 9. So that's, if anybody wants to put away their life for a week, that will be for them.
Yeah, thank you. Tornike is asking about if we had convertible debt funding deals, but we never had. We are working with
No.
SAFE as I know only.
We're mostly working for the future equity, but we're fine with the convertibles too. We just haven't had them because most early stage startups have the safe experiences. So I think that's the reason that they've never put it on the table. Plus, we have also never pushed them to it because we're quite comfortable with safes. And plus, there are a lot of things that we have to research in the Georgian legislation, and we know how the safes work already after 3 years, and we have different kind of contracts with the startups. So no debt. We want to go into the equity after the equity rounds.
Okay. Tamar is asking us, if a person seeks developing more about the roles within startup incubators and accelerators, are there any workshops, training programs, or opportunities to get involved, even for those who are not angel investors or startup founders in Axel Academy? I think.
Around Axel, what we have is an angel network, and now we have Angel Academy. Then we're going to have workshops like this once every month. I promise I'm going to be bringing very, very interesting people like David. And by the way, we should applaud to David because it was his idea actually, and this is how we launched this webinar. With this webinar sessions, we didn't have this idea before. And thanks to him, we're going to have this kind of meetings once every month. But yeah, there are now 4 big accelerators coming into Georgia. One is Rainmaking, another is Founders Institute, another is 500, which is kind of continuing, but still with the new program. And I forgot the last one, sorry for that. But there are 4 big accelerations coming in that will be doing different kind of boot camps, workshops, etc., because they will be taking this responsibility from the government because they participated in the tender. So having these 4 big names helps us a lot. And plus there are a lot of online opportunities for that. The one that I know very well, for example, our partners are the Domino Ventures, which is a Netherlands-based fund with Turkish GPs, our good friends. And they are making, for example, Better Future acceleration program where you can participate freely. Just fill in the application, and if they find you interesting, they're going to reach out to you. And there are a lot of online accelerator programs that do not need any equity from you, do not need any kind of big responsibility from you. They're not giving money, but you'll be able to get quite good knowledge from them. And that maybe you also know some names that are doing this online.
Tamar, very simple. If you need some kind of, I don't know, something, just you are curious, you just reach me out, reach someone out on LinkedIn, write a message directly that I'm curious about this topic, that topic, I don't know, something. As for training programs, not sure. Workshops would be with Axel and online and offline. And yeah, feel free to just go for it. That's my
And
best advice.
there is one organization, Startup Bureau, our good friend. They are also making different kind of hackathons. There are some different kind of conferences upcoming now, which I know the 500 is going to have a demo day. Go there, meet people, network with people. That's the first thing.
Yes.
just to meet people like us there and talk with them while you have your I don't know, coffee or drink or wine and just talk to them. Another is the Touch is coming, which is about the digital technologies and so on, and go visit Touch and meet people there. I know that the Data Fest is coming, which is all about AI and technologies. Go there, also meet people there and listen to the workshops and trainings and people's speeches and keynotes. And yeah, whenever you see the opportunity also from Axel's side, we don't do that. Well, we do it once every year or twice every year. The open kind of conferences where people outside of Axel Network can join us. So feel free to join there too.
Yes. And I think we are finished with the questions.
Guys, you have
Thanks a
received the
lot.
poll from our side and the quiz to quickly answer the question if you liked it or not. We need you to be super
Yeah.
honest about that. Please, if you can
Yes.
answer that because it's still online, it's still there, you can click the posting. We'll be more than happy to receive the feedback, even if it's good, even if it's bad. And also there is one question, what would you like to have our next webinar about? And yeah, please also answer that question so that we understand how to continue the process.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you, Euro. Thanks a lot, people who listened us, who supported, who asked the questions. Tekla, the team that was working on this. Thank you, guys. And yes, please share your feedback. It's very. Oh, we have one more question. Late question. Could you please share where we can find all the networking opportunities you just mentioned? Google, Irakli, Google. But
Go
reach
to
us out.
Axel's web.
We'll
The
share it
easiest
with
thing
you.
is to follow us on LinkedIn because we usually the Axel related things are mostly on the LinkedIn, but other things, yeah, just the keywords are touch. Another is DataFest, another is 500 Global, Eurasia, I think. No one platform that where you can find it, but maybe I can
Yeah.
give you a quick advice. Go to the Facebook, search for startup info there as your Georgian. You can also type it in Georgian, and there is a group of 30,000 people, I think, that where there is a community, and usually it's also being posted there. So go there and
Yeah.
take a look at that too.
And Georgian Tech Weekend, which is a new kind of event that just now started, and we were talking there as well. So I think next year it will be even bigger and even interesting. So feel free. Okay, should we wrap up? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're wrapping it up. Thanks a lot again
Yeah,
to all
thank
of you
you.
for participating. Daci, David, my friend, thank you for participating and thanks for
Thank
bringing
you.
this initiative into Axel and into Angel Academy's every month's
Thank
life
you.
already. And yeah, to all of you who attended, please attend all the other webinars too that we'll be launching. We will be developing, we'll make it better. If you give us a good feedback there and write what you want to happen on the next, I'll be making, I'll make it sure and I'll make the whole process sure that we will be taking into consideration any kind of feedback that you're giving to us.
Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. Ciao, ciao. Bye bye. See you next time. Okay, how you